think in the last 12 months, Howden as a group has done more acquisitions than there are weeks in the year, which is quite a daunting challenge for any technology arm.
Charlie, thank you very much for joining us. So Joule, massive, great. MGA, probably the biggest. Is it the biggest in the UK, Joule now? Did you fight with Penn?
Believe so.
Yeah. So what do you use Azure for?
So we're implementing a SFI, so Salesforce Industries and Financial Force underwriting platform across our UK and European operations. So that's great for us because it delivers a complete end-to-end package from CRM, be that for our brokers or our carrier partners, through to broker portals, the policy administration side, the finance and credit control aspects, the data enrichments and the pricing. So we can do all of that under one data model. And we work with Azure on the development side of that, and the architecture side of that.
You've got multiple products on the same underlying platform effectively, and then an element of configuration on a sort of per product basis. Is that how it works? So who does what in that scenario?
Yeah, so at the moment we've got just over a dozen products live on the platform. We've got a little over 40 to go, so rather a long journey ahead of us. We're live in the UK, Germany, Switzerland and the Nordics. So each of those kind of regions gives us different challenges, be that regulatory or product challenges and differentiators. So we're organised into three kind of distinct pillars. So we have a new features pillar, a feature enhancements pillar, and a new products pillar. And so we use Azure, we work with Azure for that kind of thought leadership on those new features, so that we're building those in a scalable and robust way. And then on the new product side, for example, when we're onboarding those new products, we do that in such a way that it's really scalable and consistent across all of the different business units and areas.
Howden and Joule, for that matter, both are nothing if they're not acquisitive, and hardly a week goes by when they buy something. Are you going to put all those businesses on that tech? I mean, what do? Do you look at them and go, their tech's all right, we'll leave them there, their tech is rubbish, we'll move them across? What's your thinking?
Yeah, so I think in the last 12 months, Howden as a group has done more acquisitions than there are weeks in the year, which is quite a daunting challenge for any technology arm. We see the same on the Joule side, and this morning I've got 2 new ones over the next 3 weeks, which is great fun. So some of those businesses come with great technology, which is great for their business, and others come with absolutely nothing and are on Excel or whatever that might be. And so we look at those individually, and some of those products are really suited to specific underwriting platforms such as surety, for example, or marine, and others maybe less so. And so the plan is very much to onboard them onto our instance of Salesforce as quickly as possible. And that's one of our key drivers when we're doing our design and our architecture, is to enable us to do that quickly.
How many people have you got in your team?
In the product team, 6. Across the whole delivery, a little under 100.
Good luck. Graham, you know I go back a long way. I know that you're the chairman of Azure Technology, as well as being the CEO of Crux. Tell us which hat you're wearing today.
Well, I'm here with a Crux hat, but you could look at, I mean, every coin has 2 sides to it. You could look at this and say, you've got a bit of a conflict of interest there. Or you could say, I bet my house twice on the technology, which either makes me very committed to it or a blithering idiot.
No, I don't. You didn't have an RFI, RFP, did you? No. So look, you launched Crux started this year, and then picked Azure quite quickly after that, I should think. What are you doing? How far have you got? Give us a progress report.
So we're a London market specialty wholesaler, MGA. So we're looking at any sector which has got specialty insurance in it. And we started off with terrorism and PV, just because my co-founder is an underwriter from that sector, is very well known. We've got through the Lloyd's process, which is like swimming through treacle. We finally got there. We've now got a $400 million line on terrorism and a $40 million line on PV, which is amazing.
What's PV?
Political violence, terribly sorry. So we're up and trading, we're talking to brokers, and what we're really going after is I think, the most inefficient bit of the whole market, where things are passed from person to person, there's no data gets decayed, it gets endlessly rekeyed. If you look at any processes in the delegated authority market, it's quite shocking how much is still based on paper and based on email. And we think that you can put together a platform using Salesforce that allows you to have an underwriter workbench, that allows the underwriter to do everything in one place, all your data in one place from the get-go, and it allows you to expose those data objects to third parties to self-serve, which gives you an incredible edge over people who can't do that.
And given that you only got going early in the year and just got regulatory approval and stuff, is the tech built out? Have you got enough to get started?
You never ever get to the end of these things, do you, Charlie? I mean, it's a never endem. But the team at Azure have done an amazing job, and we are, I'd say, about 3/4 of the way through. And what remains are the really nice bits, the third-party integrations. We're just in the middle of doing one for sanctions checking. We're taking a very close look at MIA to do an SOV ingestion capability on our platform. And then the third integration we'll do is a white space integration, which will give us the ability to be end-to-end.
SOV?
Schedule of values.
You did all this in the podcast. I told you off then.
I know. I can't help it.
So, Charlie, back to you. Slightly provocative question for the sake of it, really. But given you're putting all those different MGAs onto one platform, and given Howden spends money like water, why don't you go out and hire 100 people and have your own capability and just do all this stuff yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Salesforce doesn't have a implementation arm within its business itself. It's a complicated platform. It's incredible left to right, up and down, etc. You've got to nail the architecture and the design up front. Otherwise, you're not going to scale, and you're not going to be able to deliver what you want to deliver. Azure have that experience being an MGA themselves. They understand the business and they understand the technology, which is great for us. It's not, we want to understand it, we want to get the most out of it, but it's not something, we're not going to become a tech firm. So we're focusing on the bits that we're best at. So optimizing the processes and the insurance angle of that, and then we work with Azure to get the most out of the technology that we can.
Then let's look forward. 2025, we're nearly at the end of the year. What are your plans for 2025, Graham? What's it
well, I think what we've got to do is get the business to expand its distribution. We've got a couple of brokers who are using us at the moment, but we want to move it out. We want to get to third-party distribution, so we're in talks with an MGA in the States about them having our platform there. And we're in active talks, really exciting talks, with a couple of underwriters who could bring different classes to the business. So it's just more of the same and try and expand the number of classes that we write.
Got the capacity you need?
On the terrorism side, yeah. And I think, to get a $400 million line in a space that's as commoditized as terrorism tells you what the markets think about the technology that we built.
Either that or the quality of the technology they've got, but probably both.
I didn't say that.
Charlie, what does 2025 look like for you?
So we've got to continue to roll through the remainder of that product. We've got to do it faster, and we've got to do it the best we can. We've also got a big new play in the UK on the regional commercial side, which is a new step for us, having focused kind of mainly on the specialty side of things in the past. So from a technology point of view, we're looking more at the automation of those underwriting journeys, the data enrichment side, and the pricing. So we've just getting a pricing engine in, and all of those kind of good bits.
Chris, you sat there very patiently while your customers elegantly make the case for you.
Exactly.
But I'm going to leave the last word with you. You made an announcement yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before? What's the plans for between now, rest of 24 and 2025?
Well, clearly we work with enterprise clients. This is two of many, but we recognise that there are smaller MGAs out there, and they're a growing market, and they're ambitious. They're not as encumbered by the traditional insurance companies. They're smaller, leaner, more agile. They're going after specialisms that it means that they can hone their business, and they're flexible as well. They're also open to digital adoption, which is refreshing. I think there's still things that are holding them back. There's still a fear of change. We see that across the industry. We've done it like this for however many years. We should probably keep doing that. Thankfully, that is changing, though. There's also that element of not just change, but although there is digital adoption appetite, how do you do it? And actually, their experience of digital adoption has been picking up tools during a rapid growth period. So, they've got lots of things that underwriters are switching between apps and using different tools all the time. So that's where I think there's a resilience, and I don't think they know how to move forward. And I think the problem with that is that they revert back to that traditional growth appetite, which is chuck more resource at it. An army of underwriters is going to let us write more business. That's really expensive. But also, whilst we do that, we probably need to do some process automation, which is really hard. Where do we start? And that comes back to, we probably need a platform to do that on, which we don't know how to do that. It's really expensive, it's really hard, and it probably takes forever. So I think they're kind of stuck in a rut, really. And it's almost crazy to expect an insurance company to suddenly become an overnight tech firm and understand how to do that. And that's where I think we fit in. We've got the experience and we've got the expertise. So, for us to be in that space for those partners is really relevant. I think we know that actually it's about being strategic with your underwriters, not putting an army in place, and combining process automation through platform simplification, and particularly when you're thinking about things like an extendable platform like Salesforce, where actually I say extendable because all the core tools that you're going to need are there, but actually it's about when you're ready for AI or when you're ready for automation, those things can be ready to go. And really, we're making all that a lot simpler in 25. So we're launching, and we've already launched our MGA Connect proposition. And that is really a fully, highly configurable digital insurance platform for very ambitious MGAs that want to launch, grow, and scale their business. And we think that we can do that and get you up and running in a matter of weeks.
UK only?
No, absolutely not. UK and US, and that's what we're targeting. We know that the US is a growing market as well. And we think that we can do it in weeks because actually our approach is out of the box. And that really just means that all the core tools that you're going to need to run your business and be trading very quickly are already built. We've built all those things. So it's a bit of configuration and you're ready to go.
So 25 is flogging the hell out of the new bit of technology because it's really cool and a lot of people are going to need it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. Great. Chris and Graham, Charlie, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Good chat. Thank you.
Thanks.